Versatile Mage. Chapter 38. The Snowy Peak Mountain Station. As they sat on the bus, they passed through the wasteland on the outer regions of the city. In just a few moments, mountain forests appeared in everyone's sight. The mountain forest was very green, deep, and its vicinity was luxuriant, sturdy, and vigorous. Weeds were growing, and the distant mountain peak was uneven while the clouds were thick. Do you see it? This lonely and mighty mountain is the Snowy Peak Mountain, and also the border of Arbo City. Arbo City counts as a medium-sized city. At the frontline magic cities, empires, and large demonic cities, their safe borders wouldn't be called just a station, or even a small stronghold, said the assistant military instructor, Pan Lijin, whose hair was only the length of a forefinger. Speaking of which, since you guys regularly have contact with magical beasts, that means you must be intermediate-level magicians. Wang Sanpang asked. Intermediate. Pan Lijin swept her gaze across Wang Sanpang and ridiculed him. Why would intermediate-level magicians guide you little brats around? As Wang Sanpang heard this, he got upset and whispered, then you guys are just primary-level magicians, that's nothing to brag about. As Wang Sanpang said what everyone was thinking, the two military instructors began to laugh simultaneously. It was evident that they thought Wang Sanpang's words were far too childish. As the bus entered the mountain, they had been on the road for more than half a day. Mo Fan wasn't leisurely sitting around for more than half a day. He was maintaining his meditation at the very back of the bus. He and the bus were fated. When he had completed connecting 7 stars and lightning strike, he was also on the bus. This time, Mo Fan felt like his fire element had touched upon something. The little loach pendant was like a stardust magic tool. It allowed Mo Fan's cultivation time to hugely increase. It had been a year since the annual examination, and Mo Fan realized that not only had his stardust become tremendously bright, but the stars within the fire element stardust had gone through a huge change. In the past, the star's radiance would be occasionally bright and occasionally dark. Currently, the star's radiance could be said to be extremely steady. It was said that when the star's brilliance began to transform, their ability to conduct magic would also improve. A spell's effect and might would also follow this change and strengthen. He spent the entire second year of high school working on this improvement. I wonder what kind of might the next level of fire burst will possess. I can't wait. At last, they finally arrived at the Snowy Peak Mountain Station. Although they said it was a small stronghold, this place wasn't just some crude village. The stronghold station used the incomparably precipitous cliff as its sides. The cliffs were at least 100 meters high. You could only see the sky if you fully tilted your head backward. The cliffs on both sides formed a natural wall. Additionally, the front and the back of the valley road had 2 colossal stone doors locked down. The entire stronghold station was just like a small fort garrison within the valley. So this is the Snowy Peak Mountain stronghold. It is said that other than the high-leveled flying-type magical beasts, as well as those that have a climbing ability, this Snowy Peak Mountain fort garrison can obstruct the absolute majority of the evil creatures from entering the safety zone. Moreover, due to the Snowy Peak Mountain Station, we haven't had any frightening reports about people being hurt within the safety zone for many years. Zhang Jianguo walked out of the bus as he looked at the large protective stone doors. He couldn't help but feel deeply moved. Teacher, I heard that this protective stone door was made by Arbo City's construction master, Earth Element magician Zhang Yuheng. No magic beneath the intermediate level is capable of moving it. The young lady Bar Zhuman asked, being the good student she was. That's right, the stone door seems a bit old, but the truth is that its firmness is in no way inferior to steel. Zhang Jianguo walked in front, holding in his hands a flag for the third group. He looked like a tour guide taking the students on a walk around an ancient city. Not long after, the other 4 groups' buses arrived in succession. The 100 elite students of Tianlan Magic High stood together beneath the tall and sturdy stone door. On the 2 sides of the stone gate were 2 sentries. Among them was a battle mage who didn't wear his uniform. He was leisurely playing with the flame in his hands. The small flame was like an obedient pet, moving actively within his hands. Occasionally, it would float around his body. It seemed wonderfully graceful. As Mo Fan noticed this, he was amazed. From the way the man was playing with the fire, Mo Fan could tell he was far more skilled than himself. He began wondering how much stronger the plain-clothed battle mage's fire burst skill would be compared to his own. "Hey, Boss Zhangkong, how come you're assigned to this post today?" Luo Yunbo raised his head as he smiled toward the fire mage who was fiddling with flames. "I have nothing to do. I heard there would be some high school girls coming here today, so I specifically came to check it out myself." The man called Zhangkong didn't hide his intentions as he smiled to himself. On the side, Zhuman pursed her brows. She could already feel that this magician called Zhangkong was checking her out. So handsome. Yeah, you simply can't compare the little brats from our school with him. He has such a manly aura to him. And he's also very honest. The few infatuated girls in the class could no longer maintain their calm and immediately began to chatter continuously. "Little girl, don't crease your brow toward our boss Zhangkong. He is one of the rare experts here," said Vice Captain Pan Lijin in a tone that carried a slight note of adoration for Zhangkong. "I've heard of the name Zhangkong. Isn't that the fire magician who slaughtered the most magical beasts in the snowy peak mountain station?" Zhang Jianguo immediately raised his head and said loudly, "It's an honor to meet you." "He has only killed a few magical beasts. What's so impressive about that?" Wang Sanpang said. "It is indeed not impressive. When Deng Kai proposed the idea of having you students come here for practicals, I did reject it," the handsome mustachioed Zhangkong said. "The warning from a year ago has passed. Currently, there won't be any problem. As a mage, you still need this practical no matter what. You can't just extend it because of a warning from a year ago," Zhang Jianguo said. "I don't really mind as long as you don't let the students wander around. I don't want to see this fine and delicate beautiful girl being eaten by a one-eyed magic wolf," Zhangkong said with a hearty laugh. Zhang Jianguo smiled awkwardly. The other person was a genuine expert. Even if he made a suggestive remark toward a woman, Zhang Jianguo, as a teacher, was unable to do anything. The warning from a year ago. Mo Fan had heard of this matter from his little aunt. However, as Mo Fan had spent most of his time within the ivory tower of the school, the dangerous matters that occurred in the outside world were unknown to him. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.